Welcome to the Oasis. My name's Mike, and today I am beyond hyped to be talking about a brand new Star Wars game that supports virtual reality that will be coming out later this year for both PCVR and PSVR headsets, and that is, of course, Star Wars Squadrons. Now, rumours of a new Star Wars game from EA have been circling the internet for a few months now, ever since a PlayStation Store listing appeared for an unannounced project titled Star Wars Maverick. Now, along with the listing was some artwork showing a lone Star Destroyer bearing down on a small squadron of X-Wing fighters. And the artwork, along with the codename Maverick, giving a nice little nod to the classic movie Top Gun, suggested that this was going to be an aerial combat game where you could pilot iconic starships from the Star Wars universe. Then, running up to last weekend, the EA Star Wars Twitter account announced the official title of the game as Star Wars Squadrons. They also posted some awesome artwork and stated that there would be an official reveal trailer on Monday, the 15th of June. Now, at this point, I was pretty interested in the game, as I love the Star Wars movies and I was a fan of Rogue Squadron, which was a Star Wars aerial combat game way back on the N64. But then my interest went to full-on excitement when a fellow named Jeff Grubb, who works for VentureBeat, tweeted that Squadrons would have full VR support. Now, after getting very excited and also very disappointed due to the PlayStation 5 console reveal having no mention of VR at all, I was trying to keep my expectations of Squadrons in check, particularly around this rumour of VR support. Roll on Monday and the trailer dropped for Squadrons, however it didn't suggest that it would be supporting VR anywhere in the trailer. I quickly had a route around the official website and lo and behold, it stated, "Immerse yourself in the pilot seat completely with the option to play the entirety of Star Wars Squadrons in virtual reality on PlayStation 4 and PC with cross-play support." Hell yeah! Now I've gone from being excited to full-on hype mode, and the reason why I'm so excited is that we've had a taste of what this would be like almost 4 years ago when EA packed a VR X-Wing mission into the original Star Wars Battlefront game on PlayStation 4. Now, this was exclusively available for the PlayStation VR, and it was the first time we could experience what it was like to pilot an X-Wing in virtual reality. And the short 20-minute experience is totally awesome, and I'll include a full playthrough of that mission at the end of this video if you want to go check it out. But for now, let's get into the details of Star Wars Squadrons and what we know about the game so far. The game will feature a full single-player story campaign set after the events of Return of the Jedi, seen from alternating perspectives of both the New Republic and Empire battling it out for the galaxy. Now, I really like this idea of seeing the story pan out from both sides of the fight and being able to get into cockpits of fighters from both the Empire's Titan Squadron and the New Republic's Vanguard Squadron. Now, the single-player story sounds great, but what will keep players coming back for more is, of course, the online multiplayer. The multiplayer will feature 5v5 strategic space battles between New Republic and Imperial fleets, which will be VR cross-platform play between both PC and PlayStation players. Teams will be able to plan skirmishes together in a briefing room prior to heading out to never-seen-before battlefields, including the gas giant of Yavin Prime and the shattered moon of Galatan. You'll also be able to modify your starfighter and adjust the composition of your squad to suit varying playstyles. Pilots will have to work together as a team to complete tactical objectives, suggesting that there will be a strategic element to the game and that players must choose a balanced squadron of different ships to take on various objectives. In the game, you'll be able to take full control of different starfighter classes, including classic ships such as X-Wings, A-Wings, Y-Wings, U-Wings, TIE Fighters, TIE Interceptors, TIE Bombers, and TIE Reaper fighters. And on top of these intense dogfights, you'll also need to manage the power between weapons, shields, and your engine on the fly to get the most out of your starfighter. The multiplayer will also have a deep progression system where you can climb the ranks and unlock new components like weapons, hulls, engines, and shields and cosmetic items to keep the gameplay fresh and engaging. From the Steam listing, it suggests that the game will use gamepads along with keyboard and mouse inputs over full VR motion controllers. So we have just over 3 months to wait, as the game will be releasing on the 2nd of October on PC, PS4 and Xbox One, although of course Xbox won't be getting any VR support. The game won't be releasing on Oculus Quest, as I know I'm going to get this comment in the comments below, but you will be able to use the Quest to play this game when connected to a PC using Oculus Link. Now, I love that we're getting more Star Wars in virtual reality. The Star Wars Vader Immortal series was pretty decent, allowing us to wield lightsabers in VR, and Star Wars Secrets of the Empire from the Void was a VR experience that allowed us to team up with friends to go undercover as stormtroopers, which is still my favourite Star Wars VR experience so far. We also have another VR Star Wars game from ILM X Lab coming soon called Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, which links to the theme park experience at Disneyland. I look forward to hearing more information about that game soon, which I'd imagine will be coming around Oculus Connect. Now, I know a lot of people are concerned EA are involved in Squadrons, but they've moved away from Force platforms recently with their library of games now available on Steam, and they seem to have dropped the loot boxes and microtransactions. They also recently proved themselves with the likes of Jedi Fallen Order, which personally I really enjoyed, so I'm feeling pretty hopeful about Squadrons being a solid VR title. Of course, what we really want now is to see some gameplay of the game, but thankfully we won't have to be waiting too long, as EA have a full gameplay reveal coming out on the 18th of June at 4 PM PDT. As soon as the event is live, I'll post a link in the description along with a pinned comment. In the meantime, let me show you a playthrough of the X-Wing VR mission from Battlefront to give you a taste of what to expect from Star Wars Squadrons in virtual reality. Let me know if you're as excited as me for Star Wars Squadrons in the comments down below. And without further ado, let's dive in.
Are you picking anything up, Bluetooth?
Oh, hell yeah.
Coordinates. Yes, I'm sure I entered them correctly.
Nice work, little buddy.
I don't like this. Where are they? Lou, look! It's the fleet!
Hell yeah.
Red flight, report in.
Red 2, standing by.
Red 3, standing by.
Red 4, standing by. What took you all so long?
Guess the rookie punched the button a little early.
Cut the chatter. All X-Wings accounted for, Admiral.
Copy that, Red Leader. Stay alert.
Red flight, take up an escort pattern around the fleet. Stay close.
This is just so awesome.
There, rookie.
I guess I did punch the button a little early.
Hey, don't sweat it. This is a blue milk run. My first time out, I didn't know an S-foil from a nose cone. You're already in better shape than that. Just keep it together.
Thanks. I'll be fine.
Good, because this mission could still get interesting.
Red Flight, we're receiving a priority transmission from the Wobani system. We're patching it through.
Calling all Rebel Alliance vessels. This is K2SO on behalf of Extraction Team Bravo. We have encountered a minor technical setback. We have taken refuge in an asteroid field and require time to patch up our systems. Assistance is most welcome. Immediate assistance. Any assistance, really. We are transmitting coordinates. Did I mention immediate?
Did you copy that, Red Leader?
We all heard it, Admiral. Red flight, prepare to receive coordinates.
That is one of General Draven's ships. That means it has enormous significance to the rebellion, but we can't risk exposing our fleet.
I only need one flight, and we have to stay nimble. More than 4 ships, things get crowded.
Even if you make it out alive, you have no idea what's waiting for you on the other side.
We all knew the risks when we signed up to fight for the rebellion, Admiral. And sir, neither of us has time to argue the point.
You aren't gonna take no for an answer, are you, Sam?
No, sir, I'm not. Red 2, Red 3, Red 4, prepare to make the jump to hyperspace.
Roger that. Get into jump formation. Here we go.
Are you ready for this, kid?
Sure.
Hell yeah.
This, right?
When you're waging a war against the Empire, this happens almost every day.
Report in when you make contact with Bravo Team. And may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Red flight, on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
Punch it. Oh man, that is so cool. And that's the thing, watching this video isn't going to do this any justice.
Here we go.
It looks incredible in this headset.
Position.
So, what's the plan with these asteroids?
Blast the small ones.
Okay, and what about the big ones?
Try not to get in their way, and keep your eyes open for that U-wing.
Roger that.
So this game came out about 4 years ago now, a few months after the PSVR actually launched. And it was actually a bonus mission on top of the Battlefield game. And the VR mission was exclusive to PlayStation VR. And I remember it was a couple of years ago I picked this up. Must have been for like £4, secondhand, just so I could play this. And I remember being blown away then, and I'm still blown away by it now.
Maybe you should...
Dory, watch it!
Ah!
Red 2, what did I say to do with the small asteroid?
Don't even start. D6, looks like we're trailing smoke. Can you start patching us up?
And if Squadrons ends up being anything like this,
Watch out!
it's gonna be so great.
Heads up, things are getting a little tight up ahead.
I see it, Red 3. Divert power to engines. This is gonna call for some fancy flying.
Oh yes. Breathe in.
Nice move, rookie.
What'd I tell you? No sweat. Make sure we didn't get clipped back there, Lutu.
So this game actually is a kind of a tie-in to Rogue One, which kind of released around the similar sort of time as the game release. And you form part of the squadron of Red 4. And you're looking for a U-Wing that contains K2SO and Jyn Erso. And your mission is to escort them to Yavin 4 for a top secret mission. But look at that. Looking out the window to see your colleagues flying around.
Red Leader, I have eyes on the U.
That's going to be amazing when it's your actual friends in those ships. And you're going to be taking
Are you
on
listening out there?
another bunch of
Bravo 1,
players.
What's the situation?
My name is K2SO. I am authorized to represent this vessel. We have encountered a minor technical
We got
setback.
the SOS, K2. What have you got on board and what do you need from us?
We have a priority one person of interest that we must deliver safely back to Yavin 4. Our navigation computer is down and our wings are locked in fighting position. Hyperspace will be impossible until they are repaired.
What can we do?
Keeping us alive would be helpful.
We can do that.
Roger that.
How many criminals get sent to Wopani? No one from that sludge hole could possibly be that important.
Don't let your guard down.
No chance of that.
Admiral, this is Red Leader. Extraction Team Bravo is still in one piece, but the Empire could arrive any minute. I'm requesting support and offload for the extraction team if it becomes necessary.
Good news, Red Leader. Base 1 is sending the blockade runner Vigilant to help you with the recovery effort. Looks like your instincts were right on this one.
K2SO, help is on the way. I'm sending a set of coordinates. You should be able to make it on sublight engines. We'll stay close.
Thank you.
Glad to be of service. Red Flight, proceed to the rendezvous.
Roger that.
The backdrop is just breathtaking.
Every day, huh?
You know, every day, more or less.
Just stay close to that U-Wing and remain in attack position.
And if this is what a 4-year-old game looks like, just imagine what Squadrons is going to look like. It's really going to look incredible. I can't wait for October. I really can't wait.
Look alive!
Here we go.
Fighters incoming!
We need assistance.
Woo!
Like you said you would.
Hold them off. Get to the rendezvous. Red Flight, focus on those ties. Don't let them touch that U-Wing.
Roger that.
Roger that.
On it, Red Leader.
Oh yeah.
Great hit.
That was close.
Nice shooting.
Let's get some shields up. Things are getting a bit hairy.
Great shot.
Great shot.
This is the Corvette Vigilant calling Rebel forces. Someone need a lift?
This is K2SO of extraction.
This is our extraction.
We would appreciate an immediate transfer to the marginally improved safety of your craft.
Come again, Bravo 1?
Vigilant, Red Flight here. Our friend needs you to pick him up. He's a little unfiltered.
Roger that, Red Leader. Bravo 1, head on over for immediate documentation.
Oh my god.
Star Destroyer! Bravo team, this is Red Leader. Take evasive action, we'll cover you.
Negative, Red Flight. We're under attack.
Just
Bravo
look
team, come in.
at the size of this thing.
Tractor beam. Their communications are jammed.
I'm hit.
Oh god.
I'm hit. Losing engine power.
I've got more TIE fighters approaching. Mark 216.
How bad is it, Lou? Think you can patch it up? Just give it your best shot, buddy. But make it fast.
Come on, buddy, you got this.
You gotta get back in there. How's it coming, Lou? Lou, you did it! This is Red 4, back at full power.
Glad to hear it, Red 4. Red Flight, accelerate.
Bring it on.
Speed. We're staying? We've still got a job to do, Red 2. Great job, pilots.
Woo. Another one bites the dust. That's my buddy there.
Great job, pilots.
I think I fixed it. Red Flight.
K2.
Hell yeah. I forgot how awesome this is.
We are alive.
Let's keep you that way. What do you and your team need?
Escaping the Star Destroyer's tractor beam. That would help.
Can we fix that situation?
If your heavily outnumbered X-Wing flight is able to defeat several squadrons of highly trained Imperial TIE fighters, our marginally staffed mechanical team will repair our heavily damaged ship, develop power to engines to counteract the tractor beam, and ultimately formulate a plan of escape. The chances of failure are high.
Copy that. Red Flight, let's buy them some time. Great job, Red Flight.
Let's get those shields up.
I'm in a little trouble here.
What's your situation, Red 3?
I got 3 fighters on me, and they don't seem to like me very much.
I'm on it. Hang on, Red 3. Lou, lock onto Red 3's location.
Where is he? Oh, I see him.
Nice shot.
I got you, buddy.
I owe you one.
Anytime. Let's hope that doesn't happen every day.
I'm with you there.
Concentrate fire on the Star Destroyer's turbo lasers.
On it, Red Leader.
Take out the turbo lasers. Roger that.
Red 4, my sensors show you heading away from the battle. What's your status?
All clear, Red Leader. Heading back now.
Okay, let's go for a bombing run. Take out these lasers. Nice. Shields up.
Nice shooting.
That looks just so awesome.
You got him.
Bravo team to Red Flight. Bravo team to Red Flight, we have completed our repairs and are ready to present an attack strategy. It is unlikely we will succeed.
Go ahead on that bad plan, Bravo.
We need you to disable the Star Destroyer's targeting array.
Let me confirm. You want a handful of X-Wings to directly attack a Star Destroyer?
You are not directly attacking the Star Destroyer, you are attacking the Star Destroyer's targeting array.
Oh, great. Well, in that case...
The targeting array should be located above the bridge section. It is heavily shielded, so your pilots must get close enough to use their proton torpedoes. A direct hit will momentarily disable the Star Destroyer's tractor beam, allowing us a brief window to escape.
Wait, let me guess what
Hell
happens.
yeah.
Then we
Let's
run
do
like
this.
Correct.
That really is a terrible plan.
Correct.
I love it.
Roger that. Okay, Red Flight, this is it. Begin an attack run on their targeting array.
Ready to go, Red Leader.
You ain't getting away, mate. No chance.
Facing a Star Destroyer head on, just like that.
Don't think about it too hard. For that later, if we all make it out of it.
Okay, let's take out this array.
Red Flight, we're going in.
Okay, here we go. Line it up. Get the targeting system online. Here we go. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Here we go. Fire in the hole. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
The targeting array?
The targeting array is down.
Hell yeah.
Nice job, Red 4.
The plan has worked. We are free from the tractor beam.
All right, team, this is it. Once that Ewing is clear, we can all go home.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Buckle up, kid.
Whoa. Things are getting pretty hairy. Let's get out of here. That was awesome. Wow.
Red Flight, report in.
Red 2, standing by.
Red 3, standing by.
Red 4, standing by.
Red Flight on station and all X-Wings accounted for, Admiral.
Welcome back, Red Flight, and good work. The Alliance thanks you.
Bravo team to Red Flight. We're departing for Base 1. We thank you for the prompt service in rescuing our rescue mission.
All
That's
safe
so
for
awesome.
Bravo. I hope that passenger you're carrying is worth it.
I hope she is too.
Good luck.
There's no such thing.
I would love to meet the person who calibrated that droid's language module.
So,
Well.
Red 4, what did you think of your first real mission?
It would have
I
been
loved
easier
it.
if I didn't have to spend half of it saving your skin.
Maybe you did learn a thing or two after all, rookie.
Red Flight, form up. We're heading out.
Oh man, that was so awesome. I just want more of this now. October cannot come soon enough. That is for sure. I forgot how amazing this experience was.
What's next, ma'am?
A medal would be nice. But let me guess, another fouled up mission we're gonna have to rescue with our unrivaled piloting skills.
Let's find out. Prepare to make the jump to hyperspace on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.